Okay. For me, I am increasing my number of appointments, which is doing exactly what it's supposed to do, increasing my number of applications. So very pleased about that. And, Freddie is, we're both super happy with the Indeed applicants we've gotten so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
they're
clarify,
rolling in pretty regular.
Say again.
They're rolling in pretty regular.
Good. Yeah, they do.
We've only had one burger flipper server. The rest of them have been a lot more professional. Quite a few of them licensed.
Yeah. It's good.
Yep.
That'll work. All right, so a couple questions just so I can make sure we're on the same page. You said you're increasing your appointments, meaning you've already done that, or you're fixing to do that?
No, past 2 weeks I've been increasing.
Got it.
And
so how many are you running now?
Well, I'm aiming for 30. Last week it was 24, I think.
Okay. Cool. And what were you at before?
Oh my,
Roughly.
15 to 20, not where it should have been.
Cool. So run up 10 or 15 a week.
Mhm.
Hey, you think that has anything to do with the reason why you're almost at $30,000 3 weeks in?
Just a little. Actually, 100%.
Do you think that also has something to do with why nobody else in the group is?
Probably.
Not that deep, right?
No, not rocket science.
So you should be talking a lot about that. Right?
Okay.
And then the ultimate test is how long can you stay consistent with it, because that's where most of your agents fail.
Right.
Doctor comes up, the water heater goes out, their wife, whatever, has to do grocery shopping today or something, like stuff have, you know that. You know what I'm saying? And agents think that it doesn't happen to top producers. Like I was talking to someone this past weekend, and they were dealing with stuff. And I'm like, all right, dude, so we're gonna not talk about stuff because everyone has stuff. So everyone deals with that. They all have their different version. He goes, yeah, but my stuff is more than everyone else's. I'm like, really? You talked to that many people this week? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, oh, you said yours was more than everyone else's. I thought you meant you like literally asked everyone else what all their stuff was. It seems like time consuming. He was like, no, I just messed with him a little bit, But for you, at the end of the day, people are watching to see how consistent you stay, because behind the scenes, it looks like you got lucky for a couple weeks.
Right.
Does that make sense? And that's not inspiring. What's inspiring is when you start throwing up 30 or 40 G's a month, 4, 5, 6, 7 months in a row. Then people notice. And they go, holy crap, what did it? Like when Luffles is here now. He just walked into my office. When he started live dialing on Facebook, everyone was like, yeah. He's done it for like 6 months straight now, and he's become like the dial king. You know what I mean? Like, that's noticeable. A few months ago, everyone was like, no, it seemed cool. Whatever. You know what I mean? That's just one dial. Whatever. He doesn't get the objections I get. He doesn't dial the leads I dial. He doesn't know what my area is like. They don't, you know what I mean? And now you've been watching him for 6 months, seen him do hundreds of them, thousands of them. What's up, dude? And now it's like, oh, damn. He does get that too. Oh, he can book people that yelled at him last week. Oh, he can book no-shows. Weird. Oh, he can book EverQuote. Huh. You know what I mean? It's more believable when it happens for a longer period of time. So y'all have to be crazy about that if you truly want to lead like an army. And it gets hard. And that's part people don't understand, is that when you go out and you throw up $40,000 a month, every month, as easy as it is, it gets hard because life does happen, and you have to stay crazy focused. And if you don't do that and you become inconsistent, right? people are going to follow your lead even at a lower level. So even though there's plenty of stuff to watch, people are weird. And when you hire them and you're their quote-unquote leader, they look at you more than they look at Twardowski, because y'all are in a different area, or whatever the excuse they make up is. You know what I'm saying? So continue to do that. It'll put hope into other people. And the more you talk about what you're doing throughout the day, in the week, and deal with, yes, I'm on the phone. I'm on the phone, girl. She always says, you never answer my call. I'm like, because I'm on the phone all the time. Anyway, so the more you stay consistent with that stuff, the more it becomes normal. That's the only thing that happened with us. Y'all watched it. I was number one in the group when I was doing $13,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? And then I decided to start doing $40 a month, and I did it for 2.5 years, basically. And I was like, and I wasn't the first one in the company, but in the Southeast for sure. And it just became more normalized here, because before that it was like, yeah, that's Mark. Yeah, that's Matt. He's just Matt. Andrew and Paul, man, the Cali, big mortgages. It's easier out there. They don't know these $80,000 mortgages in the South. And then I was like, damn, I can work hard too. And you start seeing that consistency, and it's like people call and they're like, what do you do? I see a bunch of people every week. Oh, what about this? What about that? I see a bunch of people every week. They're all in like work boots and have $83,000 mortgages. It's nothing amazing. I just sell a lot of them. You sell everyone you sit? Nope, like half. Wait, what? Yeah, that's it. I just schedule a lot of appointments, buy a lot of leads, sell half people. Life is good. And that just becomes the normal routine at week in, week out, week in, week out. What are you doing about dialing? I get on the phone at 7:30. What about you? Noon. That's why you suck. No, but what about this? Yeah, I get that too at 7:30. Well, what do when they say this? Yeah, I know. I get that too at 7:30. You know what I mean? And you just continuously talk about the things that you're doing right, and people will follow it. How's things going on the hiring side? What's up, dude?
What's up, man?
How many did y'all do this week? I think the goal was 60 last week, if I remember right.
Yeah, and I guess I was a little overzealous on that, John. I'm going to have to reset it for sure. I did 20 this week. We got 2 in class, but I got a lot of follow-ups to do today and tomorrow. Like Tay said, we're excited about the Indeed. Since Zip got cut off last week, I've been going back to some of the old Zips of the list that we have, and I've been calling those. I'm not having as much luck with the older ones, but a quick question on the new process for going to BDMs. How far would you put people out to plug them into a business development meeting during a call?
I'd plug everyone into a business development meeting regardless of whether I was hiring them, not hiring them, if they were starting in a week or 2 days or whatever. I think it's important.
If I talk to them on Monday and the business development meeting is on Thursday, is that okay to go ahead and plug them into that one? Is it too far out? Or
Yeah. No, you can definitely plug them into that one. I think you should continue to have conversations if there's someone you want to work with and do the rest of the process, but nothing wrong with sending someone to one.
Okay. What I was doing before was, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just going to ask you to clarify before I went too far, because I'll forget. So when you said 60 was overzealous,
yes,
and I want to clarify, was it overzealous or were you all underprepared to deliver that many?
Yeah, probably underprepared.
No, definitely underprepared.
Got it. Okay. I'm making sure we're on the same page.
Yeah.
So then my question is, what are we doing this week? And I hope the answer is not we're just going to lower our goal from 60 to 20.
No, we're going to.
Well,
what are we doing to hit the 60? Because I think on our staff meeting on Friday, I believe Nick hired 45 this week by himself, like not with a recruiter, Nick. And I don't remember how many Dom hired, but I think he interviewed like 68 or something. by himself, not with Kaylin or, you know what I mean, not Nick, not with. So it's making sure we're set up right. No different than the guy who makes 42 dials because they only had 13 Facebook leads.
Right.
The question is now, what are we going to do about it?
Yeah, well, I'm going to dial like Paige is dialing. That's
And I have to get back in the mix. I didn't do any last week. I was 100% focused on booking appointments and running the appointments. But I've gotten in the groove of that, and I can definitely start to do the calls in between appointments.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And then are you doing anything, changes into how many resumes you get so you have more people to call?
Well, we've got the Indeed. So that's bringing a whole fresh thing coming in.
Okay.
And we have Craigslist, and also going to get Facebook using our business page, but also I'm a member of some networking groups online that I haven't posted in a while. So I'm going to do that as well.
Cool. I dig it. Have you all looked at that Facebook hiring leads yet as well?
Gosh, I tried those one time a long time ago and haven't gone back to them. I know Secure Agent has them. Is there someone else that has it?
Yeah, everybody has them.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You get them through. Ultimately, it creates consistency. You know, same thing if I go, hey, new agent, did you try those Facebook leads? Yeah, I got one order. They didn't work. What do you tell them?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nope.
What do you tell them?
It's riskier to get one order than to order multiples. And, yeah, not a clear indicator. Yeah.
Amen, girl. It makes sense, but we're all human. That makes sense. The funny thing I've learned when I was building this thing is I started acting in ways that I did when I was a new agent. You know what I mean? It was the same. I was saying similar stuff, just in a different light. You know, it's kind of like this excuse. I did the same. I'd be like, yeah, I'd say the same thing. Yeah, like, nah, man, I didn't get any Craigslist resumes in this week. Well, how many did you run? I forgot to run them this week. I don't know. Oh, really? Weird. So, you know what I mean? Mike would be like, what? What do you mean you didn't have any? What do you mean you forgot? Like, what were you doing all week? I'm like, well, I dialed. Yeah, dude, but I was with you. You were done at 11. What'd you do later? I'm like, hi, bro, I was watching football again. Sorry. You know what I mean? And we used to have conversations like that. Or I'd be like, yeah, man, I was just hiring idiots, just dummies. Well, how many did you interview? 12. He'd be like, what'd you expect? I interviewed 12 today, driving home from Alabama. I'm like, you know what I mean? And so we have to watch ourselves because it's easy to fall into that on this side of things as well. And the same stuff that drives us crazy about the agents, we do relative to this side of the business. You know, so you have to be crazy, crazy intentional about making sure you don't fall into that trap and say, you know what I mean? Like, our words mess us up. You know what I mean? And I don't want to nitpick it, but it's like when I'm overzealous versus I'm prepared. It's reasoning with ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Right. Or we all do it. I didn't call because I was dialing. You didn't not do interviews because you were dialing. You didn't dial that much, girl.
Yeah. I'm
100% sure. Right?
Yeah.
But we'll trick ourselves and be like, yeah, I didn't because I was dialing. No, you didn't because you didn't. So now we have to. The hard part about making changes, Paige and Freddie, is people forget. They talk about all the stuff they're going to do different. You know, the biggest part they forget to add is the things they're going to stop doing instead. Nobody talks about those. Meaning, like, when I changed from 14 to 15, y'all were here. You saw. I can't imagine you didn't notice. I went from no one heard of me to what it turned into, like, overnight. And all I did was add lead flow and appointments and stop sleeping. The part I did big that I gave up. I gave up sleep Instead of sleeping on 9, I started getting up at 5. I didn't do it overnight. It took me a few months to get there. But I went from sleeping until 9 in 2014, 9:30, to get up at 5 every day. And I did that for ever after that. You know what I mean? Then I gave up football, playing it and watching it. And I gave up the gym because I was obsessed with all 3 of them. And if I didn't remember every day what I was willing to give up, it was hard to put something new in. And most people just go, yeah, I'm going to do this. And then they still sit down and do whatever you do. Drink 2 bottles of wine, watch football, go on a walk, you know what I mean, sleep in, play whatever, Monopoly on the computer, whatever it is we do with our time. You know what I mean? I think that's one of the biggest mistakes people make is they don't articulate what they're giving up and then remember every day to give it up and replace it with the new thing. Because the reality is you still have the same amount of time. So you adding 40 interviews a week, Freddie, means you got to give up a serious amount of other crap, whatever it is, whatever that stuff is. Like it, love it, hate it, it's worth it, it's not, it's, you know what I mean, it's an excuse, it's real, whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. You have to give something up to add 40 resumes, interviews.
Right.
You know, Paige, you have to give stuff up to continuously run 30 appointments a week. You have to, by default. And if y'all aren't intentional about what that is, it's hard to maintain. That's why people's New Year's resolutions go away in 3 weeks, because they don't commit to the give up part. You know what I mean? Like for me to continue to grow this thing, I still have to give stuff up. You know, I still get up earlier than almost everyone in our group. I still am on the phone more than everyone in our group. Meaning I could be doing a lot of other things if I didn't want to keep growing this thing. You know, I have 15 scheduled calls a week. I have to give stuff up during those times. You know, every Monday morning, dude, I could be going to breakfast with Stephanie, or I could do 5 straight team calls. And I was like, you know what? We're gonna give up breakfast for a little while, because we did it for a minute. Start dropping off Max to school and we go chill. Because nothing happens in the Atlanta. Like, there's sadly nobody here yet. It's just pathetic. There's like 6 people here, and it's almost 9 o'clock. You know, I'm like, damn, I don't have to dial anymore. I can do whatever the hell I want. But that doesn't grow a business. So I had to give that stuff up to do these. You know, and that's what makes it rewarding, because when you give something up and then you accomplish stuff, you feel good about it because of the sacrifice. Does that make sense?
It definitely does.
Cool.
John, that makes perfect sense. You know, I've been real disciplined and intentional about losing weight over the last 3 or 4 weeks, and I just need to apply that here. I've lost 17 pounds by being very disciplined on what I'm putting in my mouth. And it's been tough, but I've done it, and I feel good about it.
Yeah, and you probably looked at giving up specific things. Whatever those bad things are you stuff in your face, beer, pizza, bread, pasta, whatever it is, right? And if you aren't intentional about what you give up, when you go to the grocery store on Sunday, you buy more of it. You know? So same exact process, man.
Yep. I did it there. I can do it here.
Yeah. And it's painful the first few days, right, of change. But, man, 17 pounds flies off when you just do it consistently for a few weeks. Yeah. You know? And it's like you consistently interview 60 people a week, and, Paige, you run 30, and maybe you interview another 15, whatever. You know what I mean? Y'all are doing 70, 80, 90 interviews a week. How do you not add 10 or 15 writers like in no time? It's impossible. You know, no different than if you stop stuffing your face every 8 minutes. You know what I mean? Me and Steph are doing the same thing. But like the first time we tried to do it, we didn't like clean out the house at all. And we started like 27 bags of potato chips and cake mix and brownies and, you know, Halloween candy and stuff like that. And then a couple weeks ago, we went threw it all away. and then she bought like stuff for everywhere we are, no matter where we are. Like, so she got a fridge for the office, so we have like smoothies in there. But I love eating good. It's just I don't prepare well enough. It's easier to pick up something quick. That's not good for you. So now we got I got these like pre-made shakes. They're already in the bottle. You just put water in it and shake it. You don't even have to go to the cabinet and get a special bottle and shake it. It's like already in its own. You know, we have these little smoothies. They're all ready. They're pre-mixed. You just dump the fruit in, add water, mix it, go. So we made it really easy to eat healthy. Because I know I'm not going to spend 47 minutes dicing grilled chicken and cooking broccoli 7 days a week. There's no chance I'm doing that. You know, so it's like we kind of made a plan every day. Here's what we're going to do today. Here's what we're going to do Tuesday. Here's what we're going to do Wednesday. We prepared for it yesterday. Now the rest of the week is easy because we put things in place that make it easy. You know what I mean? And so y'all have to look at this the same way.
Yep.
And that's the path to getting people to sell more, is to help create consistencies in their life and point out things that they say that don't align with what they said. You know? And so you guys practicing this discipline will help you teach it. If y'all can't practice it in your business, it's hard to teach.
Definitely.
That make sense?
Makes perfect sense.
Cool. You guys got anything else? We got about 7 minutes left. You got any questions? I'm more than happy to answer. If anybody else is on, I can answer theirs, whatever you want.
Yeah, we have a few others on. Does anybody have any questions for John?
I feel like I do have a question, but I can't think of it.
Got to prepare and have those on your phone during the week, as John recommended in the beginning.
Amen.
It was more of a joke page, so. But
okay. Well, John, I do have one. Is somebody else got one?
You can go ahead, Paige. I can wait.
No, you go ahead, LaTwan.
My question was, I spoke with Dom and I did some dialing yesterday, so I was able to get I was able to get 2 days booked because I'm only able to work on the weekends. What do you suggest to help me go a little bit faster when I'm in the home? Because I was going to try to schedule 3 appointments, but I was a bit hesitant because usually it takes me quite a bit of time in the home.
Sure. How long you been working here, LaTwan?
Well, I got contracted the end of May, but I really didn't start working, I guess, until actually running appointments regularly until recently.
Cool. Like couple weeks or months? You've been around.
I don't know. I would probably say a few weeks, Paige. What do you think?
Okay.
Yeah, she's been sporadic before then.
Cool.
Yeah.
The reason I ask is I assume you've scheduled 2 or 3 appointments in a day before and then went and they weren't there?
No. Well, the way my schedule is,
Have you been no-showed before?
Yes, I have been no-showed.
Okay. And then you got to sit, I always would drive to a grocery store parking lot until my next one. There's nothing I hated more in this business than doing that. It drove me insane. I don't do well sitting still, and I feel frustrated, and then you start talking to yourself, and you never typically say anything good to yourself sitting in a Kroger parking lot when you could be home. You know, so to answer your question, I will answer it. One, don't worry about overbooking, because statistically, with 2 or 3 appointments, you're bound to get a no-show more often than not, right? So I'd rather you have to no-show someone on occasion than you be sitting in a parking lot more frequently than not. And the second thing I always tell new agents is don't try to rush in-home. When you try to rush in-home, do you have kids by chance?
I do. Yes, I do.
How old are they?
They are from 8 to 14.
Cool. They play sports?
Yes, they were, but we kind of paused so I could work more.
Cool. What are they?
Now.
Give me one of their names and what they play.
True, she plays basketball.
All right, cool. So how old is that a boy? I didn't hear the name. I'm sorry.
It's a girl. She's 14.
What was the name?
True.
Got it. So when she's playing basketball, especially when she was younger, but even if now, if I said, all right, you got 2 seconds, dribble down as fast as you can, go, and I'm like yelling to rush, right? Like, hurry up, dribble, come on, go, hurry. They panic, right? Like, pass it to Bob, hurry up, pass it to Bob, oh my God, pass it, pick up the ball and pass it. Like when we do that to the kids in baseball, they panic, and they can't pick up the ball and throw it to first.
Right.
As coaches, when we all shut our mouth and let the ball go and roll, they pick it up and they throw it, no big deal. But under pressure, they perform poorly, right? Why? Because they aren't as skilled as someone who's been playing for years. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If you tell Dom to rush a baseball, he can do it. He's picked up and thrown 15 zillion baseballs. Maddox is 8, it's almost 8, he's 7. He's done hundreds. Dude, when I tell him to rush, the first thing he does is look at the person that's running or look at the first baseman instead of the ball, and then he can't catch it because his focus is messed up. I'm sure you've seen it. I've watched I coach little kids basketball too. It's a disaster. It just starts to get like halfway decent around that age, teenage years. And if I tell you all these things to do to make your in-home quicker, you're going to be sloppy because you're going to be focused on the wrong thing, right? What you need to focus on when you're in the house is helping the client and slowing down and asking questions. And if it takes long, it takes long. You know, as you start to, I think you should have a lot of conversations with Dominique throughout the week. Every appointment is ideal. That way you can analyze what happened in that appointment and find ways to get better. The long-term answer is your questions will be so good that your in-home will be shorter because you won't have wasted questions and answers. You know, when things don't line up, like I did with Paige and Freddie, you'll slow down and ask a clarifying question so you don't go on and on and on about not real factual thing. You know what I mean? You get better with time. And then you'll also understand one day, like, I don't know, if you write a trans paper app, instead of writing their last name and last four of their social 27 times sitting at the kitchen table, you'll do it at home. And you'll realize you don't have to write their address down on every page because you have their address on the lead and their ID, and you can just fill that out at home. You know what I mean? Like a lot of that kind of stuff. As you get better at this, you'll know what you need to fill out there and what you can do later. And with time, it comes. I just don't rush that. You know what I mean? What you need to rush is asking for a lot of help and doing it consistently, and that will by default get you quicker in the home. Does that make sense?
That does, and that helps. Thank you. Because trans.
Love the one you're with. You'll hear that a lot. You know what I mean? Just love the one you're with, because there's a lot of people. I saw it happen this weekend. Someone did it on Y'all's Marco Polo. Rushed through an appointment to get to the next one, left a sale, went to the next house and got no-showed. Like, damn, that wasn't smart. Now you missed 2 sales. Now you got no money. So don't worry about it. It comes with time. We all spent an hour and a half in houses at the beginning. It was a train wreck. So hopefully that helps. I'm going to jump on the next call. If you guys need anything, feel free to call later.
Thank you so much, John.
See you guys.